Okay, we're live. Good evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Cardinal Kennedy, and this is teaching number 3. And as requested, I've been asked to talk about the New Kingdom. So what can I tell you about it? Well, first of all, there's going to be 500 million minus or plus that will be chosen from roughly 100 billion people. Now, you're thinking, hold on a minute, there's not 100 billion people on this planet. Well, it is basically because it is a choosing of who is living and who is actually dead. Okay? So even those in the spirit realm who have walked this earth for a very, very long time, so even the ones before the deluge and stuff like that, so that is 100 billion people. And out of those 100 billion people, only 500 million is going to be accepted for the New Kingdom. So it doesn't give you much edge, does it, on who can get in and who cannot. I'll have to excuse the bike at the moment. It can be rather noisy, my neighbour's bike. Right, being a member of the congregation does not ensure your acceptance. Even some of the clergy will not make it, and that surprises you, but it doesn't surprise us. But how good are your chances? Now, one thing to tell you is this congregation is not just some Facebook hangout. It actually serves as a virtual court of the Lord. Yes, he is watching. He is observing what you do, what is said, and what is done. So, where there are people that come before him and demonstrate their value to the crown, he sees you. You get noticed. Now, ask yourself, are you of any value to the crown? Or are you just another burden to society that must be filtered out of existence? But you need to answer yourself truthfully and not with ego. Answer with critical things about yourself, okay? Answer truthfully. What has been your accomplishment that would make you stand out and apart from that 500 million? Yeah. It's a lot, isn't it? If you really, truly answered properly, no ego, being totally critical of yourself, and you'll get the answer. So what I want to say to you is right now, the clergy are embarking on what could possibly be the final and defining mission before the end game. If you don't think you or your loved ones will make it into the 500 million, then I would strongly suggest you grab hold of the shirt tails of the clergy and help them in their mission in any way, shape, or form. That could be the defining difference between being in the New Kingdom or being cast into the outer darkness. You'll be actually surprised how many will be cast out into the outer darkness. But this is the end, and there's no more excuses. For instance, the UK has experienced very little as regards to chastisements It is to a degree having chastisements done to it. But the reason being is because it is going to be a central part of the new kingdom. Because the Lord does look favourably on the UK. Now, if you want to know about the Lord, first and foremost, because you're going to need to know, many of you do want to know, and I do know that, because you've not met him yet, but he's testing you. He's testing every single one of you. And that is why he hid himself when he came back. So he was able to be among you without you knowing and actually test you out and see how you speak, see how your mind ticks, see what value you have for the new kingdom. Now, he has been known historically that if anybody came before him that has done wrong, they would literally be shaking in their boots. Right down to the very core, is the best way I can describe it. Because he's the Son of God. You're in the presence of the Son of God, who knows you, who knows everything about you. You cannot hold anything from him. He knows you. Now bear that in mind every time you refuse to help your clergy, who are the saints. And those saints are the ones that the Lord chose to sit on the thrones. But not just that, we have a job to do. Because like I said before, this congregation is not just for the followers and people to come in and learn and see, but we're judging you. Right? It is a virtual court for the Lord and his saints, and those saints shall be seated at the side of him, judging you. Right? Now, as regards to the new kingdom, now what can I tell you about this? Is once the actual pole flip has occurred, there's going to be a lot of upheaval on the earth. Okay? There's going to be lands rising, there's going to be lands falling, there's going to be absolute chaos, the outer darkness will be formed, and the areas that are going to be the new kingdoms formed. Now, the new kingdom in itself, you've got the main kingdom, which will have the New Jerusalem, and that is where the Lord himself shall sit on his throne and be among us. Okay, that's going to be his main area. All right, wherever New Jerusalem lands, the land around it will be chosen for the Lord himself to reign. Okay, so he's actually going to be among us, big time, once he's actually changed as well. Then there are offshoot kingdoms, and these offshoot kingdoms will be reigned by the saints, because they will then be called kings and queens. And there's going to be plenty of them. Okay? I can't go into too much detail as regards to that. But each king and queen will be responsible to make sure that there is your consideration at heart. You will basically be set an assigned place within a kingdom. Which kingdom that is will be down to when you're actually judged. Okay? So you'll find yourself in a kingdom with a king or queen or both ruling over that area. Okay? Your bodies are going to be different because you'll be able to have the fruit from the tree of life. This will be given to you by, well, just basically distributed by the king and queen of that area. This fruit is what gives you the immortality. This fruit is also what gives you your health. Okay? Do you understand that? So you are going to benefit greatly from being within a kingdom of the new kingdom. There is also the fact of, there's a point, like I said before, about there's an outer darkness. And in the outer darkness also there'll basically be part of each kingdom, but offshoot. We'll have the kings and queens have responsibility for those. So that anybody that's in the outer darkness that does actually move themselves forward and does think, once they're in the outer darkness, I can't stay here. I've got to better myself, and they try all they can to improve themselves. They will be given an opportunity if they do this with a sincere heart. They might be allowed into the new kingdom, but it also works the other way. Now that's made you puzzled, right? It also works the other way, because if you're in the new kingdom and you mess up and you decide that you're not going to follow what is there and do something for the whole community, the betterment of the whole community, then you could find yourself cast out still into the outer darkness. So it's down to your choice and your behavior that counts. Okay? So we're not just judging you for that judgment day. We're making sure that everyone is working together for the whole. You will be assigned a task to do within the new kingdom, with your abilities in mind. Okay, so do you understand that part? As for more about the new kingdom, now I did say in a post that there will be no more need for the oil and gas and coal, etc., because they won't be needed. They'll be put back into the ground. We won't need them. The whole point is to replenish the earth so that it's balanced, it's beautiful once again, especially for those in the outer in the actual kingdoms. All right, anybody in the outer darkness knows it's going to be a rough ride, but in the actual kingdoms, it's going to be beautiful, kind of like little Edens. Okay, so the only power source that we will have is to do with magnetism. Now, magnetism is it's kind of like what Telsa was hitting on, and yes, he was more or less correct. But you can literally drag out of thin air the energy, and it was a technology that the Anunnaki used when they were first here. Okay, so it's now been brought back, and it's very clean, and it can be used for multiple things, and it is so clean, and it is abundant. Okay, now you'll also be experiencing other what we call tech. So you get used to all of the brand new tech that's there, and it's there to help you, and it's there to help your brothers and sisters. So like I said, you could be assigned a job within there, and it could be to do with supplying that energy, making sure that it goes through. It could be anything. If you are actually a politician and you have the same focus and foresight for the new kingdom, then you could end up possibly still being a form of politician, working for a king and the queen, to make sure that the directions and commands are given and cast down towards the rest of the kingdom itself. So society in itself is actually going to be really, really fantastic. beyond words. And you won't have to worry about the health situation either, because the fruit helps with that. Fruit of life helps with that. So you're going to be extremely healthy. You're going to be given opportunities that you never thought you would ever have. All because you want to help and be part of the new kingdom. You want to make everything better. You want to make sure that your brothers and sisters within that community have what they need, right? That love as well. Yes, there's going to be another part where you will feel how everyone else feels. You'll have this empathy. So if you hurt your brother and sister, you are going to feel it. This is the whole point of loving God and loving each other in the new kingdom, and peace on earth. Pure love and peace on earth. Now, I wish I could say more about the new kingdom, but you will find out that once the nemesis has gone past and the pole flip and everything's settled down, the new kingdoms are created, the outer darkness is created, you will start to understand, because the veil will be lifted and you'll have a greater understanding of what's going to be happening. Like I said, if you are lucky to be one of the 500 million or so, then count yourself very, very lucky, because you've been chosen out of 100 billion souls. Think on that. That is why it's very important that you help the clergy of our returned Christ. It makes a difference. I will say this and finish it off. Love God, love each other. Amen. May God bless you. And if anybody would like a new subject for tomorrow, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you.